Hargreaves, chance for Torquay! Chris Hargreaves, the captain! If he stays on side, Carlisle checks instead. He's looking for Benyon. Sells!
Hello, welcome to the episode 2 of Goals I View this week. It's Kelly's Corner. You've had your say. Really interesting question. You know, one thing is raising all these problems, and another thing is giving solutions, isn't it? So we've given you the solution of what this club needs, as Tom will now explain.
Yes. Once again, thank you to everyone who contributed to our questions this week. We've got 2. I think we'll start on Facebook this week. Just because reading these comments just, welled me up again and just really shows what this club means to the community and to the fans. So thank you to everyone who participated for us again this week. Again, Talky Talks doesn't happen without you, Yellow Army. So thank you very much. So the Facebook question was, what makes this football club so special to you? We've got Steve George, who says, for me, it's the 3 generations of supporters, new friends that we've made along the way. It's getting up and going to an evening game when I was younger, missing school to go to some away games midweek. This club is just something special and it hooks you straight away and you'll just fall in love with it. Harry Locke says, this is what makes it special. Each and every fan who comes along to support a team that may not exist in a few weeks in the 6th tier of English football, having not seen us win since Dover, this silly little football club. Bryn the dog, Ashton Gate, Kevin Hill's cheeky goal, Will Goodwin in the 95th minute, missing out on Man United in the FA Cup, Leroy in charge for 10 minutes, the fastest ever own goal. Wouldn't change a single thing about this place. And he's put a picture of the pop side in unison from Saturday, which is beautiful to see. So thank you very much, Harry, for that. James Bailey says, for me, it's this picture. It's 3 generations of his family. It's also all the people he's made friends with over the years, the memories I share with friends from 20 years ago. Whether it's waiting on Stevenage's results to stay in the league, the heartache of Orient and then the playoff final, the Barnet game, Southend, being that underdog and getting results at the likes of Hull, Sheffield Wednesday, Huddersfield, the pain of Colchester away, the great revival with Fiat and Buckle, and battling away under Nico, even the first 3 years of Gary's era, Coverland's goal and the amount of last-minute winners. Too much history exists to let it die because someone couldn't get the land. Whoever comes in needs to either be honest or tell us it's going to be a struggle or promise something, i.e. funding for promotion to keep the future of this club alive. And Aidan Jones says, Saturday was a prime example why I love this club. I've seen nothing but smiles for the first time this season. And that's what everyone has put on Facebook this evening. So thank you very much, everyone.
They're getting on the heartstrings there, aren't they?
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like for me, Torquay United, through my grandparents who, live in Newton Abbott. My grandpa died of cancer, sadly, in early 2019. And then a few months later, we won the National League South. And, it's a family. It's just everything. And
it's an escape for many
It's an
people.
escape for many. So that's why it means so much to me. Right. So we'll go on to Twitter now. So all being well with finding an owner for our club, we asked, what would you like to see the top 3 priorities for them to be for Torquay United Football Club from a fan's view? A lot of engagement again on this one. And again, thank you to everyone who has put their views across. So we'll start with the Torquay Groundhopper, who says, number 1, honesty, integrity, and open communication with supporters. 2, to rebuild links with the local community, support local business, and foster links with the local clubs. And 3, to invest in all areas of the club, build the first team, but also the youth section and the women's team. We've got Mark Hurst, who says, ensure that there are never any questions about their motives, to engage with the fan base in such a way that parting with our hard-earned cash isn't a chore, and to get the balance right of accepting where we are and what we've got to do to move up, whilst never forgetting what we've been. I've got Max Cochran, who says, financially stable, being smart with their money, an owner who is ambitious, and a connection/communication with their supporters. I've got George Hamlin, who says, for me, someone who's got an interest in football and actually comes to games, someone who'll be willing to sit in front of a game or fans and ask questions, someone who treats it like a football club, and lastly, someone who keeps us at playing more. Alan Wills says, 1, make better use of the existing stadium facilities to help ensure sustainability and to improve the matchday experience. 2, to provide a spark to boost the playing side and bring better performances and results. For example, better manager and players, and 3, to involve fans and the wider community. Mel Beher says to knock that flipping wall down by the toilets in the family stand / Bristow's conclave, single file to the loos, and the queues for the refreshments kiosk hindered by it.
There are things you can do. Definitely. There's so much you can do
I
with
hadn't thought that,
Playmore
but that's a good
around
one.
it.
Yeah.
There's so much you can do. Like, why is there not inbuilt like food within there? You know, why don't make it a bit, you know, there's just so much more you can do. I could sit here for ages and say so many people could, you know, let's not go, oh, we need this. And all right, you want a multi thing that's going to get the club, let's find another bit of land and build that there and have it there and have it as a training facility. You know, if you've got loads of millions you want to do, you don't need a new stadium, but you go and put something in Stillhaven or wherever and you call it the training complex, and then you put loads of like a 4G pitch there to rent out under Torquay United Football Club. You know, maybe I should come to these meetings, but that's what the club can do. Build a training complex, but 4G pitches you can rent out all day, 7 days a week. The club gets better ones, something for the women's team, something for the youth academy. You can do a lot of infrastructure. So, yes, carry on.
What he said, Torquay United, make it happen. So we've got Richard Heasham, who says 1, sustainable business model. 2, an improvement on the match day experience and using our spaces outside of the ground for family / fan events.
Yeah.
And fan engagement and fans forums in person.
Program stands, stuff like that.
Andy Charles, number 1, make our own academy, not one run externally. Central to a sustainable non-league business model. 2, to rebuild relationship with supporters through direct engagement individually and with groups, including the Torquay United Supporters Trust. And to remember the reason you are in charge and to never let it happen again. The well-named TUFC sufferer says sustainability is a crucial one, so we don't flip-flop between leagues. Secondly, not making a new stadium a priority, so that's more focus to put on the team and its success. Though I wouldn't mind if they started a new stadium if we were higher up the leagues, for example, if we were in League 2. Got Danny, who says, for me personally, I think sustainability is a massive one. We definitely don't want to be a team up and down, do we? Secondly, I think instead of a new stadium at this level of football, I think we should just make some positive changes to play more. I definitely think so. And he says, and lastly, do something for the fans outside the ground before kickoff. Most clubs have this, don't they? I think that would make match days even more exciting, like a fans' corner kind of thing.
Yeah, but like music, anything, not there's some sort of entertainment there, you know, but you know, all this, you've got some good stuff within there. There's so much you could do. I'm not buying this. Oh, you need to get rid of it. I've just said you could get a multi-purpose, build it then. You know, I'm not falling for it. I'm not having it. Like, you could do so much for Playmore and make it such a special, and a bit for away fans as well. So you look at what Dorking do, you know, look what, you know, of course I mentioned Dorking, look what many football clubs do. You know, with local businesses, we go, right, here's a load of money, go and put it in that bar. You know, so much you could do to make it memorable.
Be open to new ideas.
I'm not having all this stuff we've heard that we can't be sustainable without all this. Not at all. Not having it. I know there's big problems in the... Look, let's be honest. Within the football thing, the pyramid is probably going to collapse in 5, 10, 15, 20 years completely, I believe, below the Premier League. And let's not lose sight of this with all of this, whoever we're going to blame and all that. There is huge problems within football. There's nothing... Look at Taunton. Like, they've gone up and, you know, what's the thing? Where's the momentum? And where's the... You know, you've gone up a division and teams lose money. That was always Bateson's argument. Well, why should I put loads of money in to go towards League One? I'm going to have to spend and, you know, lose a lot of money. My best players will leave anyway, where we can just keep it going in League 2. You know, there needs to be more just for football clubs to be like, all right, prize money. You know, take some of that percentage of the stupid English league. So I'm going to go on a separate point there because I've intercepted. Right, I'm going on this. Right. All that money that goes into the English football pyramid, right? Fantastic for the FA. We all support the England national team. Great. All the big Premier League teams have better academies now, and look at the caliber of players that are coming through. All moulded. You know, look at the talent we're having. It's just what Belgium, who are now the golden generation, France, Germany, Spain, all what they've been doing. We are probably going to have that best football. But then that money now isn't. There's such a big gap. We just took a bit of that money and had it all coming down the football club so that we could all have youth academies. We could all get even better players and a mix of moulded players. Now, it would help. Where's all these players going to go on loan if there's no football clubs left? Is it because you wanted all this B team stuff? I highly doubt it. I'd hate to be a conspiracy like that. But why is that money now not going back down to our pyramid? We have the most proud pyramid in the world of football. Look at the great clubs that started where they are. You know, Notts County went down to the 5th tier, Stockport went down to the 6th. You know, look at the clubs going bust, bigger, smaller than Torquay. You know, get that money down and we can make it even better. So
that's a big thing, isn't it? That the top clubs are hoovering up the talent. It used to be that they'd have to pay lower league clubs to get the players.
That Bosnan rule, great, until it's a young player. How do we lose a player to Wigan for? I know it's a pro direct scheme, but whatever, for free, basically. For our academy. How is that a good thing? You know, how are we meant to sustain a youth academy when you've got agreements in like this? Protect the clubs and assets, and we can all work together to keep making the English team great. You know, I mean, we've got so much money compared to France, Spain, Italy. That's what they want in the Super League. But so let's make full use of it for the old academy. I know that's not how the world works. I know it goes to the people that pay the most, the billionaires in charge of the Premier League and all that kind of stuff. But why am I having to listen to a bloke called Jim buying 25% of Man United Football Club when all that money should be coming down to here anyway? So there we go. Sorry, I've intercepted it. Carry on.
That's all right, mate. Not a problem. There are a couple more. There's Aaron who says his 3 points are: 1, a manager with a plan; 2, an owner, director, or CEO to have regular meetings with fans/fan groups, and a real investment in a proper youth academy. And there was one more actually I missed from TUFC Sufferer, and it's the last one, but it's a very important point and one that we have seen since Thursday, just how much the club has changed since Thursday, and it's down to more communication. It's incredible how much communicating with the fans can push the club to a higher standard and league. Someone who's in it for the club and not there just to feed their pockets. Like, you just look at what since Thursday, the social media from the club has been absolutely amazing.
Incredible.
It's been night and day.
Involved. You know,
the interviews from Downs on after Saturday.
Don Me, hats off. You've had so much stick. I mean, you are the ultimate professional, Don Me. So keep going and doing your job in those circumstances with all the stuff that's going on. So then just to hear this, the relaxed nature in his voice with Downs and everyone's just saying, you know, the media team, all the people that were there, Jess and all those people that they spoke about a year or two ago as part of the media team, all of you, the videos, the Twitter, the everything, just absolutely phenomenal. And that's how you build a football club.
Why did it have to be so different before?
What I really
clearly the insecurity of the owners didn't want to talk to supporters. He didn't want them to have a voice.
I don't understand.
They didn't want to be accountable. They didn't want us as a fan base to point out their failings because they've never failed at anything in life.
But I don't understand it. It literally is baffling. But there we are.
It gets people to games, that sort of thing, doesn't it? If you reply and you speak to people on social media, that helps.
I don't understand how such like successful business people couldn't see that. And this could have been so much better off, and didn't put football intelligent business people within the football club. You know, your self-professed, can't say the word, petrol heads and all that, business people, great, that's fine. Put someone in charge of football then, you know, it could have actually worked so much better than it did, and we wouldn't be in the situation right now. That is the past, though. I don't particularly want to speak about them that much. It's not really worth my time, not really worth our time. I'm more about the future now. And just hoping it all gets sort of done properly, and I hope all parties, at the end of the day, I hope all parties come out okay in that sense. So it's just so avoidable, the mess we've got ourselves into, and the kind of the fan just communicate. I hope everyone learns. I hope other owners learn. The communication with your fan base. We are your main, you know, we are the assets. I'd never understood all this.
They couldn't understand that football was completely different to a standard business, could they?
No, exactly.
They couldn't get their heads around that, and they didn't have the decency to just
get stuck in. I think they put a lot of trust into Gary Johnson.
See us as together.
Too much trust in the end in the Gary Johnson and the kind of regimes around it. Of course, it worked amazingly for 2 or 3 years, but someone at that point probably should have been like, right, we need to reassess things here. It's not working. That relegation was very unavoidable. I know you look at Woking right now. I know it can quickly happen when you lose your best players, but even the way we lost our best players on freeze could have been avoidable if we just had a little bit more business and strategic plans.
It's about strong leadership for me. It's
just a scouting network. Yeah,
it's about people who are going to make the right decisions for the club, and that's
fine. If you're not a football person, fine. just leave someone else to do the football stuff then.
They're
Don't just have a
difficult people to
businessman.
find, though, aren't they? The people who are going to get the best out of the club.
I'll give it a go.
They've got to have a lot of passion.
I've won Champions League with Torquay, mate, with my strategies and tactics, so I'll give it a go. I'm football manager, so you know.
They've got to have a lot of passion, a lot of drive, and it is a big job at Torquay. It's not going to be. It's not going to be something where...
Actually, I really like my job, but I'm not going to leave if the offer does come there. But you know,
it's not going to be something where they come in and it all gets sorted within days, is it? It's a big job on somebody's hands, and
just look at Exeter though. Speak to.
It could take years to work it out.
To Plymouth, yeah, and everyone makes mistakes. Sorry,
it's got to have somebody who's committed, got plenty of passion and energy to spend on the project, and speaks to supporters and gets us involved, and that's the best way forward for Torquay United. If you get the supporters involved, as we've seen the last week, you'll get the rewards from it, and you'll get bigger crowds, you'll get better atmosphere, and hopefully you'll get better results.
Which can then potentially get further investment down the line.
Yeah, new owners have got to buy into that, and I just hope we get the right ones.
I agree.
I think as well that there's enough. It's not. There are some football clubs that are available, and you think, why would you want to buy that? But there are, there's so much that could be done. We need to get through the rest of this season. Whatever happens to the points, get enough points, stay in the league. It sounds a ridiculous sentence, but there we are. And then in the summer, we've then got the summer to hopefully sort the ownership, get a manager in, whether it be Downs or be anyone else, and then start to kind of rebuild, because it's going to be a hell of a squad rebuilding. Because I can't see
any of
those players being
here
at the start of next season.
Yeah. Look at Oldham. I mean, they're doing quite well. They've had a couple of dodgy results in the playoffs, but they had just the chairman of All Dreams come in, and it doesn't mean it completely corrects itself. And they struggled last season a lot. They are in a promotion hunt this season, but they've had a couple of dodgy results recently, I believe. It does take
the whole squad with new young talent. We could take another season in this league if we're still in it, because if we've got decent owners and something you can work towards, then you can push towards the future that way.
The saving grace in this season, which is a bit like what we did before, is when you get relegated, you rebuild. And it's not going to be great, but you can rebuild, and then your football club has momentum. In football, in any business, but in football, it's so much about momentum. This season was meant to be, right, it's gone now, we're on the way to be going. If we're here next season, which is horrible to say, if we're here next season, that's when you start to build. If you get promoted from the south, hit the National League with momentum with a good core of players going through, and you've got the infrastructure, if one of those goes, look at Aldershot doing well, they've nicked a playoff our doorstep, and then they've got players coming in. If you keep going that well and you hit the National League with momentum, you're going to be at the top end of the National League. You keep doing that for a few years, you'll end up in the Football League. You keep doing that for a while, you'll sustain yourself in the Football League, and that's all Torquay United needs to do. And from there, you can have a go. Look what Exeter's done. It's all about sustain, constant, look how many players like Exeter lost on the way. When we lost everyone, Cole Cameron, all those players, it was tough, of course. But, and then Evans, Lewis and that. But we didn't have the players coming in during that time. If that season when we lost Cole Cameron, that first batch where we still had Little, if we had the players of the calibre who had the potential were going to come in, I know it's very hard with football recruitment, and hit that level, it wouldn't have hurt so much when the 5 left of McDonald, Little, Lewis, Lemon Evans.
But we didn't have any long-term.
But we had no long-term plans, and then it was just right. Let's chuck a load of players, and we got relegated. So that's.
I'd rather see us build slowly, and if we have to, if we have to finish a little bit far down the National League South again, at least you can see a project building, a young team. I could cope with that, because you think we're building something. I don't necessarily want Torquay to rush into something, because we did during the summer, didn't we? We rushed to get these players. We rushed to get Gary Johnson back in. Yeah. Quick. We can do it. We can do it. And it's just gone wrong, isn't it? I'd rather see us a bit patient, work our way back as a club, and then it can come good, can't it? And I think that might have to come to the fans as well. They might have to be patient. And it depends on what the new owners, hopefully we get them as soon as possible. But the new owners will maybe want to build a project, but I think the supporters might have to just buckle down. Yeah, we're going to have a rocky road ahead. We just have to, see how it goes. But
let's not forget, this is going to be a slow process. It's it's not going to be. Nothing is going to be sorted overnight. There's all these rumors on social media at the moment. It's going to take time, and it's going to, it could get a lot worse.
The random billionaires are cracking
yeah,
up
the
there.
random billionaire going to save Torquay
Millionaires.
United. But if you were a prospective owner and you were there at Playmore on Saturday, you know, we've had many a season the last couple of years where you've seen the worst out of Torquay United. But if you were there Saturday, you saw the best out of Torquay United, or at least from, you know, the football club side of things. Forget, you know, some aspects on the pitch were still, United defensively were a bit short and stuff like that. But if you look at just everything around that on the football pitch, you just look at the infrastructure, you look at the fan base, you just look around. That's the best of Torquay United, and that's the football club that we want going forward. There's so much potential for this football club, and it's just been mismanaged from top to bottom for years now. And again, I think we all agree that this day was coming at some time, if not last week, it was going to happen in the next few years anyway, if he couldn't get the council to budge on Playmore. So it has to be a fresh start, and we have to, you know, first of all, come out of this with a football club to support. But most importantly of all, we've just got to make sure that we're not in this position ever again. And, you know, fingers crossed we look, you know, down than last week as the day our football club came back to the fans and, you know, things changed for the better. You know, we've just got to keep doing what we're doing, Yellow Army. Just support the lads. If you can get to Weymouth on Saturday, they've given us nearly 2,000 tickets. Let's try and pack that away end and just show everybody looking in at Torquay United that this club is strong and we're never going to give up.
I totally
agree. I think it's so important with the club. If they look at offers, I mean, who are they going to choose between different parties? I mean, we need the right people, don't we?
Yeah,
it's just like concern at the moment. How desperate are we?
Yeah, no,
that's the concern.
Short term and long term.
Somebody coming in who's just another person you don't really.
You know, we don't want to go out with the saucepan into the fire, what they're bloody saying. Is,
yeah, that's the trouble. We don't want to do that.
Depends what level we're at, aren't we? But there we go. I mean, that's
what we've got into, isn't it? Unfortunately,
and that's what we, you know, whether it's a short-term owner and another owner later on, whatever happens for the long-term of a football club, I don't know. But there we are. All I can say is the last few days, it feels like weeks, has been the most proud I've been to support Torquay United Football Club and be a part of the community and be part of Talkie Talk, and we do all this sharing. Thanks for the great comments towards us as well. You know, so there's been times where it's been really difficult for us, but there we go. We really appreciate it, and it's going to carry on being difficult, of course. But you know, it feels like the stars doing this silly little thing is actually made a big impact in certain ways on people. So we thank you very much. And just all the people speaking to me on Saturday, that was mad. And Tom Lapsley, I mean, life peaked to that moment when he remembered my name from the Sponsors Day. So there we go.
You're a big name now, Swanee, aren't you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You should have said you went to Sponsors Day, Swanee.
Oh no.
I think as much as anything as well, it would have been lovely if it was Saturday, but it'd be nice to just get a win, get some points on the board. But you know, there is an odd, in some ways, feel-good factor, isn't there, about the place, which I feel and I totally get. But it would be nice to get, you know, it's a game. Saturday's a game we can really go there and win, isn't it?
If we somehow don't go into administration, you know, it's still a very outside chance we can make 7th here. So I wouldn't even say it's very outside.
I mean, I've pretty reconciled with the fact we're not going to get in anywhere near going up this year, one way or the other. But equally, with the players we've got back now, there's no reason why we couldn't win 5 or 6 games in a row. But we're going to need to be tight at the back and, you know, start to score some more goals. But
it's keeping tight at the back. So I think we'll score a few goals now. Ash and Jarvis
absolutely
feeling it again. I just think we are going to give away goals. So got to try.
You have no idea how happy I was to update my Twitter on the other day to say that Ash scored 81 days, I believe it was, from the last time it was updated.
I bet they felt good. To be honest, when the Jarvis header went in, I'm sure he was going to blow for a free kick because it was that sort of set piece. It wouldn't surprise me.
But it's great. Thank you so much for joining us this week. We're going to wrap it up there because my pizza is burning. So
we're winning on Saturday though, 3-2.
Yeah, we are winning on Saturday.
3-1.
2-1. Yeah, I'm going to say 2-1.
I'll agree with Sam. 2-1.
Yeah, and thank you to Weymouth. I feel quite bad that me and Tom got very angry in the Talking Weymouth watch along because a few tackles going for Weymouth players.
You got angry.
I got angry at Weymouth.
I always love Weymouth.
We're rivals.
Yeah, love you, Weymouth.
Great away day. Rivals,
yeah,
but not enemies.
I get to chauffeur Dom on Saturday as well, which is going to be exciting.
Ooh.
I know.
So there we go. So there we are. Thank you so much, everyone, and we'll see you next week.
Here's Hargreaves, chance for Torquay. Chris Hargreaves, the captain. If he stays onside, Carlisle checks instead. He's looking for Banyan. Sells.
I might be getting a lift with Tony, who sits next to us, Chris.
Ah.